They went down there and they found out that the one bruh, not the one that did the shooting that we know of, but the bruh that came around the corner that filmed the whole thing, they got the three of them up in court and started asking them about maybe they could get a bond hearing, maybe they could go home. The Fed stepped up and said, now hold on a minute. We ain't talking about the McMichaels. We talking about the Brian dude, the one that was on, I'm scared, I'm hiding out in my house and this, that, and the third. Remember him? Well, they found out that bruh man got a federal investigation going on for sex crimes. No, y'all ain't hear what I just said. Sex crimes. This bruh got a lot of stuff going on. Yet he had the nerve to sit up there and said that, you know, they were saying like, look, that keeping him in jail ain't gonna accomplish nothing. That's what his lawyer said. Well, right in the middle of that, the Department of Justice stepped up and said that they had opened a parallel investigation into sex crimes that stemmed from something that he did. So that heightens the risk of his flight, so he ain't going nowhere. See, they done broke out everything on this, bruh. Not only was you in on it, not only did you film it for whatever reasons, but now we come to find out you've involved in sex crimes too? So, bruh, ain't nobody going nowhere. That was the first update from a relevant case that we needed to talk about, okay? The other thing that we needed to talk about was what's the latest thing that's going on down in Louisville. Y'all know the clock is ticking. And so far, IG has agreed to leave us alone. I think they just slipped me a note. But let's go ahead and look at, let's tell you what happened yesterday. This is very interesting. Yesterday, now remember, I'm still in touch. I got my ear on what's going on, so I know they're moving along in some ways. But see, when you got this much dirt that's hidden, trying to get it all to the top, some folks still ain't ready to throw themselves under the bus. Some of these people are friends, they're relatives. Some of these people are married. So, when Louisville's top police officers walked out of a committee hearing on Monday, they refused to answer questions about this ongoing investigation into the city's handling of the case of Breonna Taylor. Okay, but they also had some questions about how the city managed the whole riot response. Remember, some other people got shot and killed. Not just Breonna. Even though this is all about all eyes on Bree. What we found out the other day was that the Metro Police Chief, Rob Schrader, and the city's Chief of Public Safety, Amy Hess, they left this hearing without answering any questions from city lawmakers saying that there was a lawsuit against the police department and the city. Now, let's peep game, y'all. This lawsuit was filed by the NAACP. The NAACP filed a suit. Okay? The NAA went in and filed this suit. And because they filed the suit, now nobody can't talk. Y'all not hearing me. They had these people where they could ask them some questions. And there was nothing stopping them from going in there to answer these questions. You got the police chief and you got the head of public safety. Yeah, we need to get them in the room. But before they could go into the room, the NAACP, that's supposed to be helping us throughout the whole process, goes and files a lawsuit. I'm not saying the lawsuit is not valid. I'm saying the timing is kind of strange because now what you've done is you prevented these people from having to talk because as long as there's an investigation going on, they can't say nothing. It's a pending lawsuit. That happened yesterday. Yeah. Now, the problem with that is the people that they had to go talk to was a council that was convened just to hear what they had to say. They needed to find out how was these protests handled. Why did this man get killed in front of his store? Why did the camera guy? What's going on? I thought y'all was supposed to be in law. What was going on? We can't find out now because the NAACP filed a lawsuit. I had to point that out. That's as we continue to watch Louisville. Try to work it out. Try to fix what has happened, so we can get some type of justice in the case of Breonna Taylor. I'm gonna say that because that's what the ultimate goal is, and some folks seem to have forgotten that. We're right here on Factz Ova Feelingz, the interrupted version. I'm not surprised. Trust me, I'm not surprised at anything I've seen these days. I mean, they are trying so hard to stop black people from having anything that helps us. They don't even want us to talk. Y'all see what done happened here? They don't even want us to talk about it. Ain't that something? There's other few things I want to drop on your mind in case you've been trying to figure out what's going on in the world, because there's so much going on at this time. There are some people that want to sit back and talk to about where we came from, not where we going. Yes, we know that we are we African Americans? Are we descendants of Shem? That's a whole nother class all by itself. But some people can't get out that class. They can't get out that class to find out what we need to do. And that's the problem that we have in today. Yes, we can go through the Bible and figure out where we came from or disprove where we didn't come from. The question is, where are we going? How are we going to get there? Who's going to help us to get there? Well, I know who won't be helping us to get there. Did y'all hear that 30 police officers on the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department, they all retired? 30 of them. They stepped down. See, it's amazing how everybody start quitting their jobs when people start investigating shit. 30 of them just up and quit. You see, well, as long as they're an officer, they can be touched. But once they become a private citizen, see, they had protected under all of these rights. 30 of them quit. Quit. To the hell with it. Done. They did an etymological study to find out, who these people was and what departments that they came from. They tried to say that 38 of them was resignations, but 45 of them was retirements. But this has just been this year alone since everything got crazy. They got over 200 vacancies. It's like they say, a lot of people say they're leaving because there's no more morale and that it's just too much bullshit going on. That's why they leaving. But 30 of them stepped down. 30 of them, but hold on a second. Y'all got to remember that back in the middle part of June, they put an article out in CNN, and y'all remember the headline. It said, police officers across the U.S. have quit their jobs in recent days. Here is where they have been and what the resignations are. And they had this chart that they rolled out, and they were showing you that in places like Minneapolis and Atlanta, South Florida, in Buffalo, New York, all these officers quit in a mass. Said the hell with it. Soon as they started getting looked at, like in other words, you couldn't do what you wanted to do no more, and you wasn't held accountable. But now that you about to be held accountable, now that the people start not to put up with you, now that the people calling you on your BS, now that all of a sudden it's not like, well, there's a few good cops. No, with the whole institution is bad. Now you don't want to be there no more. Because you know that if somebody start digging in your business, they're going to start unearthing all kinds of shit. And if that happens, we all got a problem. And y'all know that for a fact. So don't sit there and be like, well, you're just being hard on the police. No, not being hard on the police. The police being hard on themselves. Why y'all quitting? Why are y'all quitting? In groups, 30, 40, 50, 60 strong. Whole department, walk out. Why? Y'all know some? Or do you need the protection of being private citizens? That happened in Louisville. So y'all can't tell me that we're not making a difference. People quitting their jobs to get out of the way of this. I told y'all that when y'all got to the core, this was going to be a lot uglier. And that poor Brianna is just a victim of a systemic system that must be dismantled. And the only way y'all going to do that in your current status is to do it through the ballot box. Because we can't come in there and shoot up the city and loot, rape, and rob and do all that. That's not going to fix nothing. It might make some people feel better, but that's not exactly what our goal is in this particular endeavor, is to make sure that someone pays for taking this woman's life. That's really what, all of this mess. You know what? Hold on, sisters. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it tonight. If y'all don't mind, I can get clearance from the sisters just for a few minutes. I haven't done this in a while. I did this once before, and it helped a whole lot of sisters out. But think about this. Everything that's happening, all of this drama is around a black woman. Around the bruh got killed. Yes. Everybody, they told to join up. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. The little brother got shot down in Georgia. Yeah. Everybody was upset. Okay. You get what I'm saying? But this is a sister. And there's always this level of indifference toward women when things happen to women. And we be upset, and you're like Sandra Bland was a prime example. We was upset, but cats wasn't, they wasn't, Let's be honest. When it's a sister, we always trying to figure out, well, what did they do to get into this situation? But with a bro, it's like, man, the bro just minding his own business. I'm just keeping it 100. Don't get mad at me for telling y'all the truth. Oh, she had too much mouth. Or, she did this. Or, brothers, come on. When a sister is getting brutalized, when a sister is getting dragged out and disrespected, when a sister's womanhood is being violated publicly by men simply because they have on a uniform, and you don't think there's nothing wrong with that? Come on, bruh. I'm just saying. I mean, come on now. Sisters, listen. And this whole situation with Breonna Taylor, hell, they dropped the charges against her boyfriend. But this whole thing with her is this whole situation, the NFAC drama and all of the stuff that happened down there and us coming back and all the other protesters and the people getting shot and the mayor being crooked and the gentrification is going on and all this crazy shit going on. And if that ain't bad enough, then we find out that the attorney general got married. Remember when we couldn't find him and he was out on his yacht somewhere when y'all say he was out with Karen or whatever? Well, guess who the hell Karen is? Karen is the granddaughter of Mitch McConnell. Oh, y'all know who Mitch McConnell is? He's the Senate Majority Leader. He's Trump's right-hand man. So you mean to tell me this brother was sleeping with Mitch McConnell's daughter? Mitch, bro, you a brave bro, or either that or you just completely clueless because you know Mitch is sitting there like, really? You want to touch my daughter? Then you going to be my puppet. Oh, either that or you ain't going to be around too much longer. This is straight out the books. He put him in as the AG as his puppet. You want to touch my daughter? Oh, okay, well, you're going to be family all the way then. Now it makes sense to me. And he married he married her. That's Mitch's peoples. The brother is Mitch's peoples. That's why the governor's sitting there not saying nothing. Y'all don't realize what we seeing right here. Y'all watching some good old-fashioned down south Southern politics play out right in front of your face, and it trickles all the way down to the administration of the state, and it trickles all the way down to the administration of the city that is populated by descendants of slaves and descendants of slaves owner and anybody else who chose to move in the middle of that shit. And it's been playing out right now, and they was doing that wild, wild west shit, and they messed around and killed this girl, and they don't want to answer for it because they don't think they have to answer for it. They got people in high places. I submit to you all tonight that if you think you got people in high places, we got people in higher places. We are children of the Most High, and if you do something like that to one of us, we don't have to do nothing. He'll make it happen all by himself, and that's why y'all having such a hard time. That's why you can't sweep it under the rug. That's why you can't lie your way out of it. That's why you can't sit here and blow smoke at us. That's because a lot of these unions are unholy, ain't supposed to be in existence in the first place. So y'all need to stop looking at the brother man like he gonna do something for you, because now we done uncovered the man and showed you exactly that he hooked up with the other man. Black man talking. You got to figure this stuff out, y'all. Stop sitting around letting them spoon feed you. That's the whole problem up in here. Somebody telling y'all the truth. They don't want that. They just want y'all to go along to get along. But ain't nobody stupid. We was born at night. We might look like night, but we wasn't born last night. Y'all see the relationship? That's a power move, cousin. That's straight gangster. These things must come to pass in the time that we live in. And because this is all about a sister. This is all about a sister. This whole brouhaha is about a sister. Isn't it interesting that when you look back on Rosewood, I remember Rosewood, when you look back on the Rosewood situation, all of that drama happened because a white woman told a lie and got all those black people killed, right? In this situation, a black woman got killed and everybody has told a lie. Look what I said. She told a lie and got all the black people killed. The black woman gets killed and everybody told a lie. Y'all got this thing backwards. Y'all not talking to me up in here. I'm trying to show y'all that this is racism right in your face. You see, you don't have to use the N-word to be a racist. It's how you do your business with us that lets us know who's a racist and who's not. Notice, I haven't done anything racist to any of you. I haven't collected a dime from you. Watch this, but I'm a racist. I haven't asked y'all for anything, but I'm a fraud. I ain't the one collecting loot. I'm the one that's telling you the truth. I'm the one that's cracking open the ancient books. I'm the one who gets off my ass, get my folks together, and come down and stand the post. I'll do all of those things, yet some of y'all are so backwards and so lost that you will sit there because of your own insecurities, your own fears, or your own allegiances to things that you know you should not be aligned to, that it is far more comfortable for you to make the fatal mistake that is told in the ancient scriptures of what exactly you're supposed to do in the last days and declare exactly where you stand. So when all of it starts to happen, when it all starts to come apart, when it all starts to fall down from the skies, when it all starts to shake in the earth, when it all starts to burn, when it all starts to fester, when it all starts to famine, when it all starts, don't you stand your ass there and talk about, well, I my ass. Get behind me. I never knew you. Y'all still don't realize where y'all at right now. And it's not me that's talking to you. I just sit here and give you facts. Because it's all about a sister. Can I spend a few minutes on two things? Leadership and what it means to be a woman. Leadership and what it means to be a woman. See, leadership means that you can create an inspiring vision of the future. Is what you're doing inspiring a vision of the future? Are you trying to unite people so we can have a better world for our children? Are you willing to lay down your life to make sure it happens? Are you willing to work along with other people who are experts so that y'all can come up with a plan to make it happen? Are you inspiring the vision of the future, or are you trying to hold us back into the past? Are you trying to pull us back to the good old days of the color purple? Do you yearn to live out your Kunta Kinte fantasy? Is that what's happening? Are you just mad because you could never have one of them little white creatures? So until you get one, ain't shit gonna change? Are you sitting around buying into the misconception that you don't have good hair, that you don't have them lips you got ain't supposed to be that full, this nose ain't supposed to be that big, this skin ain't supposed to be that brown, we ain't supposed to be so artistic, we ain't supposed to taste better, see better, smell better, run better, jump better, shoot better, do everything better, we ain't supposed to? You got a problem with that? Then you just miss the boat and you stay right here in the cage with them, me and my folks going that way. Sick of this. We sick and tired of being sick and tired. Most of the fact, we're sick and tired of you. Can't get nowhere because of you. Leadership, by definition, is somebody who motivates and inspires people to engage in that vision. So first, the leader got to have the vision. That he can say, look, this is the vision. This is where we're going. But he's also got to be able to inspire y'all to do it. See, it's okay to get the vision, but can you get anybody else to get on board with the vision? And on top of that, a leader is someone who manages the delivery of the vision. Where we going? What we going to do? Just take the ride. We're going to hand out the pieces as we go. You see, if he gave the vision to you, I'd be following you. But since he gave the vision to me, I'm going to need y'all to go this way with me if y'all don't mind. Leadership, by definition, is someone that coaches and builds a team so that it's more effective. Building the team. The team don't show up. You don't add water in team. It doesn't work that way. You get better every time. We have the unique opportunity to show that we can grow at a very fast pace and become very large and get better as we go. You see, you learn from your mistakes. So the next time you do it, you don't make that mistake. You might make another mistake, but you don't make that mistake. So for all of y'all who are harping on mistakes, as we said last time, just watch us next time. Because we learn from every mistake. We're evolving. We're a learning machine. And one more thing while I'm at it, I was going to say this publicly. That whole organization that's out there that's trying to get some intel on NFAC, that's trying to find out who our members are, that's trying to find out who else can speak besides me, that's trying to figure out our infrastructure, that's trying to find out where we get the money, making up all kind of crazy shit that I say, shh, somebody be paying us. No, I say, shut up. You're dissing the church on camera, you dumbass. But since you're not a child of the Most High, you're not offended when someone begins to denigrate a house of worship, which is what I told him to shut up for. We all know that Black Lives Matter is getting paid, but me telling him to shut up was because, bro, I'm not going to let you stand here and denigrate a house of worship on live like I'm a part of that. But y'all go ahead and believe that. To all those folks that's trying to find a way in, stop it. It won't work. And you know it won't work. Because this is not about us. This is about the Most High. So we're very well secure. And there's no way in. Stop it. You're annoying. But also the last piece is that the coaching and the building of a team so that it's more effective at achieving the vision is what we're supposed to be doing. Leadership brings together the skills needed to do those things. You see all them skills I just laid? You got to have all of those. You got to bring them together. Now, some of us have those skills naturally. And some of us, we learn them somehow, some way. That's one quality that we look for in men and women. In this entire movement. Doesn't make a difference. Men and women can have those gifts. If you have those gifts, then you're an asset to what it is that we're attempting to do. But speaking of attempting to do something, I'm going to tell y'all, I got to talk about this for a second. And I hope that I get through this without it getting too deep. Let me move my mic up a little bit. There we go. Before I get into the sisters, I got to explain something to y'all. And I want to say to all of the white journalists that have come around to the reality of what's going on. It's funny when the white people come around and the black folks are still over there digging in mess. But the pieces that I've seen that you've written about America's Black Militia, since that's the title you've given us, and the pieces that you've done your investigative journalism on myself and our organization, I commend you. You finally got it right. You finally told the truth. You finally admitted to something you should have admitted to a while back. But what you still fail to understand, and let me help you out, is that we're not joined together simply because we're the victims of racism. We're joined together by our faith. We're joined together by that which we believe in and that which tells us what time it is. So no, you can't buy us out. No, you can't lie us out. No, you can't try us out. No, you can do none of those things because we are connected with the Most High. And if you're not a child of the Most High, then the NFAC will seem kind of strange to you. It might even seem kind of cultish. I don't know. But then again, I see you 444 when that happens. So before I get into why this is all about a sister, I got to tell y'all about why they're afraid. I'm going to break it down right here why they're afraid. And I've said this before. I've seen clips of this. They've been pulling their little clips out. They never sit through a Factz Ova Feelingz. They never sit through a morning mental. They just pull out a little piece of their context. But here's the problem. And I'm going to show you how they're being hypocritical. I'm talking about the U.S. government now. They're probably going to cut me off. Here we go. But in case y'all didn't know, anytime you have a small group of people that are opposed to the current society, those people are powerless as long as they don't have anything to do anything. Like if they don't have any weapons, if they don't have any resources, if they don't have any money, if they don't have any uniforms, if they don't have a base of operations, if they don't have no one pays them any mind. But the moment they get their hands on these tools, if they get their hands on rocket launchers, they get their hands on mortars, they get their hands on air to ground missiles, if they get their hands on machine guns, if they get their hands on vehicles, bombs, all kind of shit, if they get their hands on that, now they're a problem to the government. Okay, if that happens, now the government has to try to figure out where they're getting this shit from. Because they're not getting it from the government, which normally supplies all of this stuff. Then they find out that another country has made contact with this group and said, look, we'll help you by giving you all the shit that you need to be a thorn in their side. Now, that might sound crooked as hell, but here's what your country has done. If you didn't pay attention to the news today, they found out that a former Army Delta officer and a U.S. ambassador have signed a secretive contract to develop the Syrian oil fields. Listen to what I'm telling you. Someone who used to be in the military signed a contract with someone who is a representative of the United States, and they're going to start developing Syria's oil field. Now, last time I checked, we haven't overthrown Syria. Syria is still a sovereign government. So for us to go in and say, we're going to sign an agreement to take your oil, that's what they just did. Now, how was that possible? How are they going to defend it? Who's going to help them hold on to these oil fields? Because you know Assad is going to come and boom, 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 boom to get his shit back. Y'all just ain't going to muscle y'all way in on our oil. Y'all tried it. Now let's stop and remember, folks, and remember your history. The United States went in and armed a bunch of people who were rebels, and they called them freedom fighters. And they tried to bring down Assad. Assad slapped that shit down like, no, there ain't going to be none of that. So the United States abandoned them boys and left them to Assad. And Assad showed up, and he was like old dude in New Jack City. Oh, Benny, look at you now. You done fucked up now. You know you done fucked up. The United States done left you hanging too. Well, look at you now. And murdered all those cats. You understand what I'm saying? So the U.S. turned tail and left them hanging. Now, think about this. In order for the United States to take their oil fields, they have to have somebody over there that can defend the oil fields. Y'all heard the story. It was in CNN today. It said that the Trump administration has approved the first ever deal for an American firm to develop and modernize oil fields in the northeast Syria under control of the U.S.-backed Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. Listen to the name, the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. That is a group just like us that the United States is arming to guard some shit that ain't theirs. But now y'all know there's always going to be a clapback. But they signed this contract in secret. They said they've been working on this contract for a year. And they said it's going to produce billions of dollars for the Kurdish authorities in northeast Syria. They're calling them authorities. They're just a group of people that got guns. They ain't in charge. None of this money that they say they're going to take, they're going to share with Syrian President Bashar Assad. They're going to say, we're going to take your oil, sell it, and we're going to keep the bread. You ain't getting none. We got your boys over here who don't rock with you. We don't arm them. What you going to do? That's gangster. That's what the U.S. is doing over there. And in case you don't know, Syria is northern Africa. Now, check this out. The president of Syria, when he heard what they said, heard about the agreement, already know that they came in here and tried to arm up some cats before. That didn't work. Ran them up out of here, same way they ran them up out of Argentina. Sitting there talking about now you just gonna take my land, right? Now you just gonna and you got them clowns over there. Okay, all right. His response to this was it drew an immediate rebuke. He was like, Matter of fact, he issued a statement. He said that this was nothing but an attempt to steal Syria's oil under the sponsorship and support of the American administration, and that the agreement is null and void and has no legal basis. He basically just blew that shit off his shoulder and said, y'all tripping. You ain't doing a damn thing over here. You can put them motherfuckers out there if you want to. We'll roll up there with everything we got and flatten their ass out. See, the one thing y'all don't understand is that arms dealers don't care what side that they arm. They just trying to make money. So if you got enough bread, you can go on the black market and buy that crap. I'm not telling you that's what you should do, but I'm trying to show you just how this game works. And that for our government to be complicit in something where we're doing to another people what they don't want to happen over here. They don't want nobody to come over here and all of a sudden NFAC gets the backing of another government. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? And all they don't want that. That's one of the reasons that they are paying close attention to our alliances, paying close attention to our numbers, paying close attention to our intentions and our moves. What they fail to realize, we're not on that. We're not here to overthrow nobody. We're here for the liberation of the black nation, the liberation, the repatriation, the restitution of the black nation. Even if it's a nation within a nation. It can be the 45 to 50 million black folks that are right here in the United States, a nation within a nation. You do realize that 50 million people, 60 million, whatever the real number is, because everybody don't do the census. That means that there are more people in this population of people in the United States than there are in 93 of the 150 some odd countries in the world. You are truly a nation within a nation. And the only thing that the NFAC is trying to do is liberate that nation along with other indigenous black nations around the world. That is why you see us uniting on one accord, not just for the problems here in the United States, but for the problems abroad. So we can all get on one accord. Wouldn't it be great to feel like we really are family on other shores. Wouldn't it be great to know that if we all say we're going to do it in one place, we all going to do it everywhere else, and we're going to stand and we're going to support each other. Everybody ain't got what everybody else got. Everybody ain't as strong as everybody else. Some of us, we're not as strong as the others. We know this, y'all. We know this. But if we all take each other out together, we carry each other, we help each other, we rescue each other. If by law somehow the United States finds it in their goodness to give us a place, that would be beautiful. But let's be realistic. If they haven't done it in 150 some odd years, they're not going to do it. So when it's time to go, let's go. I know a lot of y'all ready to go right now. But wherever we go, we get to determine our own destiny. And all these people that's proclaiming gloom and doom and this, that, how the hell you think we got here? If that was the case when we left Egypt, we'd have died in the desert. They'd be finding our bones in the desert. But they didn't. Can I tell y'all a couple of things? Just a couple of things before we go up. Now, the United States is afraid that we really going to get it together. Think about it. What kind of trading partner would we be with the United States? What kind of a political ally would we be with the United States? What type of military adversary would we be for the United States? What about that $14 trillion in reparations you owe us, United States? You keep acting like, oh, they're never going to get it. You keep saying never. But there's also another saying, never underestimate your enemy. Everybody had to start somewhere. And nothing exists unless it's birthed by the pneuma of the Most High. So y'all only been around for 2 months, but we've been around. We don't know where y'all came from, but we here. We don't know what y'all up to. Stick around and find out. Because you're going to land on one side of this or the other. We're just trying to unify and protect our people. And anybody who can't get with that, then I guess you're not. It's plain and simple. Because all of this right now is centered around a sister. Now, I did this a long time ago, and the sisters asked me to do it again, so I am going to do it. Y'all, hold on a second. Let me get a little mic right, because we're going to do it. It's going to be odd. They got me in this. I don't know why they think everybody coming to get me now, like I'm on, like the Diaz brothers just coming to get me. I don't know why, but I don't think so. So they wanted me to talk a little bit about women. We did this once before. We did it a while back, and I want y'all to know that I don't mind doing it again. This comes from the ancient books from Egypt. These are the gold books. If you're not familiar with the books of morals and precepts, I would invite you to get a copy and sustain. There's a chapter somewhere around chapter 15 where they talk about the woman. This is the definition of a sister. I did this a while back, but the sisters by popular demand asked me to do it again, so I'll do it again tonight before they pull the plug on us again. Big shout out to eShare712. But it says there are two categories of womankind: wives or potential wives and women of pleasure. The first of these are the intended mates of men, their companions and their comforters, the mothers of their children and the goddesses of their homes. The others become their companions in carnal pleasures. They dally with them, then cast them aside, and they pass on to the embrace of other uncaring men. Listen, let me break that down. I broke it down. I'll break it down again. There's two types of women. There are those of you who are destined to be wifey material. And then there are those of you and goddesses of your castle. Then there are those of you who are just going to be passed from man to man like a cheese plate. That's what they're basically saying. They're letting you know. Here's the part that really blows a lot of women's minds. And ladies, I need you to think about what I'm saying. It says each woman decides which category she will join, and that is her chosen path. Sister, you decide what path you're going to take. Nobody made you do it. Nobody talked you into it. You didn't trip and fall into it. It says you're going to choose the path, and that's the path you're going to walk. So if you sitting down tonight and you saying, but wait a minute, I'm trying to be wifey material. I ain't trying to lay here for nobody's carnal pleasure, for them to cast me to the side and then the next man cast me to the side. When what you're really looking for is to be on the other path, then you need to make that choice and stick with it, because the man is only going to do what you offer him. The man is going to take what you offer him. If you offer him the easy path for carnal pleasure, he's going to take it. He's built that way, okay? If you're going to offer him the path that leads up the mountain to, listen, I'm not just trying to be here for 5 minutes. I'm not just trying to pass through. I'm not trying to be here just so you can tell somebody that we kicked it in this, that, and the third. Matter of fact, I'm trying to be here for the long haul. I'm trying to get into the situation. I'm trying to be connected from now until the time when we leave this place. So you make up your mind, sister, where you're going to be, because remember what they said, the first of these women are intended to be the mates of men, to be their companions, to be their comforters, to be the mothers of their children, and the goddesses of their home. If that's the path you want to go, you got to start walking that from the gate. But don't get mad, don't trip. There's another path. I didn't write this. This was written 8,000 years ago. It says each woman decides which category she's going to join, and that's her chosen path. Now listen what they go on to say. It says, never confuse the two kinds of women, lest you eat out your heart in sorrow and regret. They just said something to us that we say today. Y'all know that old saying, you can't change a hoe into a housewife? I'm just keeping it 100. I didn't make it up, but I've heard that. The first time I heard it, say, really, is that true? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife? I didn't know that. But it says right here in the book, brothers, don't confuse the two. Don't you confuse a woman who's there for carnal pleasure with a woman that wants to be the mother of your child and the goddess of your home. Don't you do that. And it also says, brothers and sisters, brothers, don't you go out here and confuse the woman that wants to be the goddess of your home as a woman just a pleasure. Don't you make that mistake, bro. Or you're going to be sitting around with regret and sorrow. That's the truth. And I know y'all didn't pull up for that tonight, but I'm going to give y'all that one for free. Somebody needed to hear that. If you sitting with a good woman and that woman is doing everything trying to make it to being the goddess of your home, mother of the children, your comforter, your companion, she's not toxic. That woman understands that you a man and let you be a man as long as you give her space to be the queen, and y'all doing that, and you sitting there treating her like she a cheese plate. Well, bro, don't get mad when somebody come along, because remember, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Don't ever forget that one. But don't get the two confused. It says right here in the book that if you if you get them confused, your life, you're going to eat your heart out with sorrow and regret. Y'all remember Sunshine? Y'all sure? OGs remember Sunshine. Yeah, yeah, put your mom on the phone. Yeah, hey, baby, how you doing? This Richard. Nah, I ain't never coming home. Take it easy. Click. Behind a carnal pleasure. The book then goes on and asks the question, what kind of a woman can be without a household? Only one who is cast out has run away because of her misdeeds. Listen to what they just said. What kind of woman can be without a household? Is it only the one that's been cast out and they done ran her away because of some shit she did? Had to move to a new city and start all over again and be shy because you raised hell somewhere else and they done ran your ass up out of there. Can't have a household here. Done too much dirt. See, women, you got the power. It's not the brothers. You got the power. Okay? It goes on further. Sisters, I'm talking to real sisters. It says, avoid the singing woman whose ways are frivolous. She's beautiful, but her beauty is like the honey in the honey pot. It attracts many flies, and they pollute it. It then says, guard yourself against the wiles of a woman from a strange country, whose city and household are not known. Who are her people? What are her ways? From what has she flown? From her mother's solicitude and her father's supervision? As she leads them to sorrow, so will she depart from you. Or does she flee her own reputation? I'm trying to help you brothers out about what real women look like. All you got to do is point these out, and something wrong with this picture. Where you come from? How long you been here? Why are you here? What you mean you don't want to tell me about your background? Who's your peoples? Where you get these crazy ways from? What generational curses have you brought to us? What's really good? It says, now watch this. This is interesting. It says, when the feelings of a wanton woman. Now remember, we talked about what they could charge the officers with down in Louisville. Wanton endangerment, meaning you just reckless. You just shot all up in the girl house and killed her. Well, a wanton woman is reckless. She's all over the place. They says when her feelings are deadened, as the edge of an axe is deadened by the constant use, she ceases to please you. That means that once the honeymoon is over, she has no use for you. And that's when it becomes poisonous. That's when it becomes dangerous. And you sitting there trying to have a relationship with someone who wasn't there for them long-term feelings. And they still looking at you and they still in your presence. They like milk. They good when you first got them, but if they stay too long, they overstay their welcome, they start to stink up the joint. Somebody got to go somewhere. It says, avoid the flattering woman who would beguile you with her words. Shun her who repudiates women's covenant with the creating of God, who casts the treasures of womanhood lightly before men. The treasures of womanhood. Y'all know what they talking about. They being polite about it. I can keep going on. This entire chapter, it unpacks the sister. But it unpacks the soul of the sister, the nature of the sister. It's not about how well you can fix yourself up on the outside. It's not about the good intentions you have in your heart, my sister. It is the vibrant, throbbing love that comes from your soul that just encloaks everything you do. So even when you're mad, you really can't be that mad. And even when we mad at you, we can't stay mad at you. The children love you because of the aura that you put out. It comes through everything you do. And if we don't see that, then brothers may never understand that you are the woman that's trying to be the goddess of the house. I promised I would teach that tonight because I had some sisters that came to me that said, after listening to the teachings, I've had to reevaluate my life. And now I don't know how I got here, but I know that wherever y'all going, we trying to go because I want to be right. And I got some brothers that done called me up and said, bruh, let me ask you a question. If I have to choose between fighting for my people, if I have to choose between laying down my life so my kids might have a future, if somebody tells me I got to choose them over that, and I chose that, was I wrong, bruh? Brother, man, it's like I tell everybody, when a person forces you to choose between that which you feel in your heart and them, then what you're dealing with is a particular type of spirit that you have to know how to walk away from, because they want you to be beholden to them. They want you to worship them. They want you to idolize them. They want you to be beholden. That's idol worship. And that is a no-no. So I promised I would teach on that because people are making decisions in their lives based on the will of the word. And I find that to be something that is both empowering, but at the same time, it is something that cuts both ways. Folks, it's almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast. This is wrapping up my edition of Factz Ova Feelingz tonight. I told you all once before in the very beginning, you don't know what you got until it's gone. And I was gone for a couple of days just so you could see what this would be like if I was gone. Leaving social media here in about 10 days for good. And I hope that you stay tuned so I can tell you where to go, or you're going to be like a few people this weekend who realized I was gone and they thought that I was not coming back. I am coming back only a few more times, and then this will be it for social media. You all have eaten off of me for free long enough. I have given you enough entertainment long enough. I have given you enough lessons long enough. And now it is time to do the work that we promised that we would do. I want you to make sure that you catch the next morning mental and every Factz Ova Feelingz from here out for the next 10 days so that you can get directions on where I am going if you intend to keep up. If not, it has been a pleasure hanging out with you on Instagram and any other platform that I'm broadcast on. Anyone who's been copying and putting us up on YouTube, thank you for what you've done. But at the end of the day, that has to come to an end. The NFAC is now trademarked, which means you can't just throw our name up anymore without us coming to get that loot from you. Let me clear up a few other things out there. There are no other groups. There are no other pages under the NFAC. I've seen some on Facebook where people are trying to fire up their own little NFAC groups. They are not affiliated with me or the group. If you are in those groups and people are telling you that they are leaders and that they hold some type of rank in the NFAC, let me be the first one to shatter that. It is a lie. I will come out and announce who those folks are in due time that are actually the leadership of the NFAC. But there are a lot of y'all running around right now. Spread the word everywhere that says NFAC is not the true NFAC. We own the move, as someone has already said. Thank you, Scorpio Venom 64. And we are not on Facebook with any groups. We are not doing any of those things. Any of my commanders, any of my supreme commanders in the field knows how we're set up and how we communicate. But if you're out there and you're perpetrating the fraud because you want to be a part of the NFAC, or you want people to think that you are the NFAC, or you might want them to think that you're me, or that I have some co-commanders, there is only one general of the NFAC. There is only one commander of the NFAC. There was only one creator of the NFAC, and there is only one voice that speaks for the NFAC worldwide, and that is the person you're looking at right now. That is me, the official Grandmaster J. There are no other co-generals. There is nobody out there. They're lying to you, and I'm throwing them back to the pit of hell for coming out here trying to attach themselves to something that they are not. If they tell you they are a commander and you can't bounce that off of me, they are lying to you. If they're collecting your money, they are robbing you, because we're not collecting money. As a matter of fact, I want to shout out to the Atlanta Journal. You thought I was stupid. I'm going to put you on blast right now. The Atlanta Journal down in Atlanta. You're running around trying to do a story, trying to find out how we finance ourselves. You're going back, digging up my old presidential campaign records because you think maybe I got that money from there. You just can't believe that Dr. Claude Anderson taught us group economics and that we all put our money in together. You can't find out who we are. You're trying to call people, trying to find out who we talk to. You trying to figure out why we figured out that we figured out COINTELPRO too. We found out you can't impersonate us. You can't integrate us. You can't, there's no way in. Stop it. Give it a rest. I know you're trying to do the story. There is no story. And for all you folks out there that are just as black-hearted as the rest of them, I feel sorry for you. This will all wash out in the end. Big shout out to Stroller to the Coffin. They don't know how we get down. Locks and Loaded knows the truth about what we're doing. Lady P definitely knows it also. All of my NFAC people up in here. Triple Ray, I see you up in here. As far as Brown Cutie Pie 28, let's right. The black man is talking, and we walking tonight. So y'all keep on perpetrating the front like you're a part of the NFAC, and we'll find out. Because y'all know that we got somewhere to be here in a few days. Stay tuned for the directions. What y'all thought? Oh, the next one going to be bigger than the last one. Just stop it. And while we're thinking about it, I think I need to let y'all know, stay tuned for the global formation that is coming your way very soon. The global formation. In the meantime, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm sorry we had all the technical difficulties that we had in the beginning. I don't know no other way to say it except, sometimes there are just those people out there that they hate change. They don't want to be uncomfortable. They think that if things change, they're going to fall to the bottom of the food chain. That's what they believe. Me, honestly, I don't think like that, and my people don't either. We just want to be treated as equal human beings. Morning mental in the morning, but I want y'all to know, I'm going to say it again, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Now, I know y'all was watching reruns. I know y'all been sitting around listening to the haters hate. But now that I'm back, they got something new to hate on. Notice it got real quiet. And I just wanted to pull myself out the picture. Look, let me say this before I go. I stepped back. I let y'all have it. I was gone. Anybody wanted to teach, I let the teachers teach. I let all the people who wanted to, get their little blogs out and this, I stepped back. I fell back. Y'all can listen to them. Y'all can go and listen to their teachings. Y'all can go and look at their gun classes. Y'all can go do all of that. But what you couldn't do, what you found out is there's no equal or replacement for what we're doing over here. I am the Grandmaster J. This is Factz Ova Feelingz. This is for your Wednesday night. Like they said, you don't know what you got until it's gone. I'll catch y'all on the morning mental. I'll see y'all right back here on Factz Ova Feelingz. Shalom.